some restrictions associated with applet, as you would expect, because these are programs which are transported from one computer to other. So a lot of security issues will be definitely involved. So applets cannot read from or write to the files in the local computer. So they are restricted from reading data from a computer or restricted from writing into the files in the local computer. Okay, that means using an applet, you cannot play a movie which is stored in your local computer. It's not possible. Okay, applets cannot communicate with other servers on the internet. Applets cannot run any program from the local computer. Then applets are restricted from using libraries from other languages like C or C++. Maybe you are aware, one of the features of Java is Java has an option of wrapping a library in Java through an interface called Java Native Interface. Java Native Interface is there, using which there is a provision for accessing the libraries from other languages like C or C++. Such features are restricted in applets. Okay, those things are a little out of the scope of this topic. But anyway, you should understand that for the core Java, there is a facility for accessing libraries from other languages, which is restricted in Java. So these points are very important. So very often you get a question in your exams also, how applets differ from applications. So first point is applets they are not standalone programs. We require a web browser or a tool called applet viewer to run your program. Another important point is they do not have the main method, public static main. That method will not be there in applet. Of course, it will have a class. Everything Java, it's written in classes, so it will not have a main method. Then they cannot run independently. Then we are talking about the restrictions of Java. Of course, these restrictions, actually all these restrictions, we can coin these restrictions into a term called sandbox security. A term called sandbox security is used to mention about these securities. That is, Java applet is sent automatically as a part of the page, and it can be executed as soon as it arrives. So the applet can easily harm, either accidentally or intentionally, applet can harm your computer. There are a lot of restrictions imposed on applet programs. So all these we can encapsulate these features together into a term called sandbox security. So sandbox can be conceived as a small area within your computer where an applet's code can play freely. The sandbox restrictions means all those restrictions that I mentioned in the previous slide. These versus the applet can request or access. So definitely there is a security problem associated with applets. Now coming to the life cycle of applet. This all the applet methods are defined in a class called applet. APPLET, applet class, A capital letters, and those that you may be aware of this. That's in the beginning I told you should be aware about the concept of packages, interfaces, etc. So all the applet methods are defined in a class called applet. Class is defined in a package called java.applet.star. .star in the case all the class java.applet. That is defined in a package called java.applet. So coming to the methods, the different methods in applet are init, start, paint, stop, and destroy. So whenever we start a browser, first method to be initialized is init. A browser containing applet, when we are initializing a browser which contains applet, the first method to be invoked is init. See, remember these methods are automatically invoked. Whatever we want to do when those methods are invoked, we will include those piece of codes inside these methods. So first method will be init. So init will be called only once at the beginning. Then start. Okay, then we can minimize a browser and we can start again. So when we minimize, stop will be called. Or when we move to another tab, sometimes very often we switch tabs. When we switch to another tab, stop method will be called. Again, at the same time, the tab which you opened, where in that tab start will be called. So when we come back again, stop and start. So start, so first init followed by start. Then if I want to draw something into the applet, if I want to draw directly something to the applet container, we use a method called paint. Finally, when we close the applet, the destroy method is invoked. Okay, these things you will understand in detail. I will demonstrate it with the program also. So once again, these are the applet methods. Init method is the first method to be invoked when the applet is executed. So all the variable initialization things, all the variable initialization thing operations are performed in this method. Start method is invoked immediately after the edit method. So it also executes whenever the applet is restored, maximized, or moved from one tab to another tab in the browser. So init method is the first method. When the applet is minimized or when moving from one tab to another. Okay, when we are minimizing an applet, stop method is invoked. Shortly, I will demonstrate this thing. Then destroy method is invoked when the applet window is closed or when the tab containing the web page is closed. Okay, when we are closing a web page which contains an applet, the destroy method is invoked. So anyway, just before destroy, stop method will be executed just before the destroy method. Okay, the destroy method removes the applet object from the memory. Again, the paint method. The paint method is used to draw the output on the applet display area. We have a display area, and the paint method executes after the execution of start method. Okay, and whenever the applet or browser is resets, this paint method is called. So if you want to draw something, we have to write something into the applet, directly into the applet container, we use the paint method. So hope you are familiar with the life cycle. Remember these 5 methods, these are very important, but very simple also. Init, start, paint, stop, destroy. Okay, all these, when we override this method, all these methods should be written as public void start, public void in, public void start, public void paint, public void stop, and public void destroy. Okay, we need not compulsorily override these methods. All these methods are defined inside the applet class. So we have to extend the applet class. Extend means we have to inherit the applet class, and after inheritance we need not compulsorily override. If we want to do something while initializing, we have to write. Okay, if we want something to happen during the destruction of an applet, we have to write the code. Okay, if you want to draw something, we can override the paint method. Okay, but this is the default flow. So these are the methods. Now we will see a first applet program. This is an applet program. To start with, let's first ignore the green color thing. To start with the applet program. So in order to start an applet program, I need to import 2 packages. First one is import java.applet.start. As I mentioned earlier, see applet, this is the name of the package. So I need to import the applet package. Then, so public class first extends applet. Extends is a keyword used for inheriting. Hope you are aware about inheritance. So class first extends applet. So applet is a built-in class. See, applet is a built-in class which is defined inside the package java.applet. So public class first extends applet. Okay, clear. So going inside, the program is simply to draw something into the graphics. So public void paint graphics G. Okay, public void paint graphics G. So paint method, the parameter passed to main method is an object of the graphics class. Okay, again graphics is a built-in class which is defined inside java.awt package. Okay, AWT stands for Abstract Windowing Toolkit. We'll discuss about that later. So for the time being, you just understand the expansion of AWT is Abstract Windowing Toolkit. Okay, and the graphics class, this graphics class is defined inside the AWT. Okay, AWT package. So we need the object of graphics class to draw different shapes and different things into the applet. So this graphics class, there are many methods are predefined in this graphics class. See, I am using a g.drawString. I am printing a message, welcome, and it is printing in the position 150, 150, the x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, well, this program can be compiled as usual. We use the command java c. The name of this program will be first.java. Since the class name is first, the name of the program will be first.java. I can compile this program to produce first.class, which is the intermediate code or byte code. So once the byte code is generated, once the class file is generated, I can embed that class file into an applet tag. Okay, this is an applet tag. See that you can see the comment. This comment indicates that this comment is for the Java compiler. The Java compiler need not compile this piece of code. It will treat this as a comment, whereas an applet viewer can execute this code. Okay, applet viewer can understand only tags. So this part is irrelevant. So when we use an applet viewer, the applet viewer will execute this code. See, applet, one of the attribute is code. Code is equal to first.class. See, the name of the program is first. So once the first.java is compiled, you will get first.class. So applet code is equal to first.class. Now width and height indicates the initial size of the window. When we just start the applet, what will happen? The initial size is 300, 300. So in that 300 by 300 window, I am drawing it as 150, 150. The 150th location I am drawing x coordinate, y coordinate. Okay. So I think we will see how this program runs. I'll show you the program. First.java. See the very same program that I have shown to you. Okay. So this is a notepad. I typed the same program in this window. Applet code is equal to first.class. Width is equal to 300. Height is equal to. Of course, you need to close a tag if it is open. See, this is how we close a tag. Okay. This is the rule in HTML. You have to close a tag. Then, as I mentioned, once again I'm importing two packages, java.applet and java.awt, because this applet class is defined inside this applet package, and this graphics class is defined inside this AWT package. AWT stands for Abstract Windowing Toolkit. Okay. Now let us see how to run this program. Okay, I have the command prompt. I have Java installed on my machine. Then Java C first.java. Okay, so there are no errors associated with it. To run the program, I have to use a tool called Applet Viewer. Applet Viewer first.java. See, this is the initial window. See, this window size is 300, 300. See, from this applet, this is 300 by 300, and you can hopefully you can see the welcome message. See, the message is printed in 150, 150. Okay, so this is the initial size. Suppose I will make a small change. I make a small change in my program. Let the width be 300, 300. Here I will put 200, 200. Yep. I have to compile the program once again. Then see, the position of welcome has changed. Now it is 200, 200. Okay. Okay. I think I have understand the concept. Then I will demonstrate a function, demonstrate a program to show you how the functions work. Okay. As usual, every applet program should have a HTML code. Then as usual, I have imported, say import java.applet. Okay. I can import like this, or I can simply write applet.star. Anything is okay. Then import java.applet class applet pro. Name, this is the name of the program, applet pro extends applet. So inside the init method, that is when the applet is initialized, at the time of initialization, I am printing in the console. See, remember I am printing in the console. So system.out.print, our applet has initialized. Then void inside start method, our applet has started. Inside stop, I have written our applet has stopped. Then in destroy, I have written our applet has been destroyed. Then in paint method, I have written, see, g dot drawstring hello world 20 comma 10. Okay, so these are the things I have written. See the program carefully. Inside init, I have written start, stop, destroy. Let's see how this program works. Once again, I'll save the program. Remember, the name of the program is applet pro.java. So I have to run that program. Java C applet pro.java. Okay, done. Then applet viewer applet pro.java. See the screen. You can see here, you can see first when the applet has loaded, our app has initialized, our applet has started. See, when I minimized, our applet has stopped. Again, when I maximized, the applet has started. Again, if I minimize, our applet has stopped. Then I'm trying to close it. See, paint has already come. When I close it, see, before closing once more, our applet has stopped and our applet has been destroyed. Okay, so whenever I minimize, whenever the applet started, initially init method is called, followed by start. So when I minimize, stop method. When I maximize, again start method. When I close it, again stop method is invoked, followed by the destroy method. Followed by the destroy method. Now we can see a lot of other methods in graphics. Now we have seen one method called g dot drawstring. One method that we have seen is g dot drawstring method. Okay. See, similarly, there are a number of functions available in graphics. Okay, you can learn from all of these functions. Actually, of course, you cannot by heart, but okay, we have to be familiar with some of the methods. Draw a line, draw rectangle, draw arc, draw oval, fill oval, draw polygon, fill polygon, etc. Similarly, there are options for changing the color also, color class, etc. Font also we can change. I will demonstrate one more program. Regarding shapes program is there. This is another very simple program, class shapes extend applet. In graphics, inside the graphics class, I have set the color g dot draw color. See, g dot draw color dot red. And I'm drawing 4 lines so that I'm constructing a rectangle. There is, of course, a direct function to draw the rectangle also. Okay, in this program, I'm simply drawing 4 lines so that a rectangle is constructed. Okay, I'll show you the program. Name is shapes. So, Java C shapes dot Java. Applet viewer shapes dot Java. See, using 4 lines, a rectangle has been constructed. Okay. See, the initial size is given as 1000 comma 1000. That is why that window has come like that. See, the size of the initial window is very large, 1000 into 1000, because I have given the code like that. Okay. Similarly, you can draw any shape. There are a number of methods for rectangle. Rectangle is there, filled rectangle is there, oval is there, filled oval is there. So by arranging the parameters and using your artistic abilities and using your imagination, you can draw any structure. I will show you one or more examples. I will, for example, I have a program Java C, mildly told Java. Applet viewer, maybe. A smiley. That's actually an oval. filled with yellow color, then another 2 ovals. The parameters are adjusted so that the oval has become a circle. Then it is filled with a color. Then again it's an arc. So this is another example for a program. And I will show you one more program, Java C house.java. This is another beautiful house. See, all are shapes only. This is another program. Okay. Now I'll show you one more thing. These are different programs actually done by my students only. Just I'm showing you the scope of the applet. What are the shapes that you can draw? Java C test.java. This is spelling mistake. The chessboard has been created. Okay. Now, before we move to the AWT session, I would like to know if there are any doubts. We have any doubts with this basic concept of applets. Now we are moving towards the components, different AWT components with applet and the event handling mechanisms. So before that, I would like to know if there are any queries raised.
So till now we have no queries. We can continue the session.
Okay, fine. So I assume that you understood the basic concept of applets. Okay, I can interpret the no queries in both ways. Either have all understood or have not understood anything. Okay, anyway, I assume the positive way. We are
They
moving
have
towards.
understood everything, sir.
Okay, fine, thank you. Okay, now we are moving to the AWT part. Okay, AWT, as I mentioned earlier, AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit or Abstract Windowing Toolkit. We can call it either way. It can be Abstract Window Toolkit or Abstract Windowing Toolkit. It is actually part of the Java Foundation classes. Java Foundation classes is a standard API for providing a graphical user interface for a Java program. Okay, it's actually a platform. Little bit history only. It's history only. AWT is a part of Java Foundation class. The tools provided by AWT are implemented using each platform's native GUI kit. GUI stands for graphical user interface. Each platform's native GUI toolkit, hence preserving the look and feel of each platform. I'll explain that point. See, many of you may be doing your Java programs in Linux, and many of you may be doing your Java programs in Windows. So you will be creating a window. Okay, a window will be created. No, not about Windows, a window. When you create a window using AWT, it will, the look and feel will be similar to your platform. Platform means operating system. So if you are working in Linux, your GUI will look similar to Linux. And if you are working in Windows, that your GUI will look similar to Windows. That is, for the same program, you may get different look and feel in two platforms. Okay, because AWT is a platform dependent package, whereas we have platform independent package coming up. Swing programs are there in your syllabus. So swings are platform independent packages. So these are platform dependent. So the look and feel of each platform will be preserved. Okay, so there are a number of components available which you can create. So I think instead of going through all these things, I will show you one or two components. First, we will demonstrate with a program. Components. Public class components extends applet. See, here I am creating two AWT components. First AWT component is text field. Text field. Okay, text field stands for a text box. You all know what is a text box. Okay, it's an editable component, text field. So text field T is equal to So remember, text field is a built-in class which is defined inside java.awt package. Okay, text field is a built-in class inside java.awt package, and we are creating text field t is equal to new text field of 20. What does this 20 indicates? 20 indicates that you can enter 20 characters in the text field. For example, if you are creating it for a name, maybe 20 will not be sufficient. If you are having a big name, 20 will not be sufficient. So depending on your requirement, you can create a text field with the required size. Then the next component is button. Button is, what is a button? Okay, submit, all this, submit, reset, all these buttons you are using. So button is equal to new button. Button B is equal to new button of OK. What does OK indicate? The label of that button. The button will have something printed on it. That is button B is equal to new button of OK. Then for the first time today we are using the init method. Okay, init method. We are using init method for a purpose. Okay. So there is no paid method here because we are not drawing anything directly to the applet container. Okay, applet container, we are not drawing anything directly into the applet container. Instead, we are creating some components and we are placing that components into the applet. Okay, we are not drawing directly into the applet. So public void init. Init is the method which is invoked first when we start an applet. So at the time of initialization, I am adding the already created components. Okay, already created. So components are created. Then at the time of initialization, I have added two components. Add t. Text field is added. Then add b. Okay, add t and add b. Fine. Understood. It's a very simple program, two components. Only thing is you should know the class which is used to create a text field. Okay, there are a number of components. So text field t is equal to new text field. There is a inbuilt constructor for text field which is written inside this AWT package. So we are simply creating an object of the text field class. So text field t is equal to new text field of 20. Button B is equal to new button of OK. OK will be the label of the button. Then public void init. I'm adding T, then I am adding B. Okay, let's see how this program runs. The name of the program is components.java. See, applet code will also contain components.class. Okay. I think you have understood this concept. The name of the program should be the name of the class name. So once this program is executed, you will get a bytecode or class file. The name of that class file will be components.class, and I have to embed that class file inside the applet tag. Okay. Java C components.java. So these are all tested programs. That is why errors are not coming. Okay, where we are doing it first, there will be errors. You have to correct those errors. These are all tested programs. Then applet viewer components.java. See, you have a text field. You have a text field and you have an OK button. Okay, if I click on this OK button, nothing will happen because there is no code for that. There is no code written for that. Okay, if we click OK and something should happen means that is event handling, then we have not started. Okay, so these are the two components, text field and button. Okay, text field we can enter values. Okay, fine. But this button is not clickable. The events happening in this button is not monitored. We have not written the code for that thing. Okay, so two components are added. See, these are the different constructors of text field. So instead of giving the number of characters, we can directly give a string. So that whenever the text field is created, it will contain that a default string will be there. So a lot of constructors are there that you can easily learn. Okay, you can simply type text field in AWT. A lot of constructors will be displayed, and there is no point in by hearting all those things. Okay, the basic thing is you should understand. Once you know the name of a thing, you should learn how to use it. Still, some of the basic things like text field, button, list box, combo, some of these I'll show you. Those things you should be familiar with. Text area, okay, where we can enter multiple lines. Then these are some of the methods available inside text area. Then labels, you know what's a label. Okay, label is, for example, enter a name. Label is something which cannot be edited. Okay, label is something which cannot be edited. Okay, for example, if you are starting an email ID, you will be asked to fill a form. It will contain enter username, which will be a label. That part we cannot edit. Then on the right hand side, there will be a text box which we can edit. So label, text field, and then there will be a button. Then for male female option, there will be one thing is there. What is this is that is called as option button. Okay, only one can be selected, male female. Okay, that is option button. Then there will be combo box. For example, your hobbies. You may have multiple hobbies where you can select multiple checkboxes. So you can tick multiple checkboxes. The button. Okay. So similarly, there are many. I have included only 2, 3 here. Now we'll go to event handling session. Okay. So event handling means you already know the last program I created. I only added 2 components, but when I clicked that button, nothing happened. So event handling is all about what you have to handle certain events. Okay, a component that creates an event and fires it is called the source object or source component. Okay, we have a source component that creates an event and fires it is called source object or source component. And an event occurs when the internal state of the source object is changed in some way. For example, when you are clicking a button, the internal state of that source object, that button, is changed in some way. So once that internal state is changed, an event is triggered. Okay, a button is a source object or a button clicking action event. Okay, so there are already I mentioned there are GUI components like button, text field, scroll bar, checkbox, combo bug, etc. So when you click a button, the internal state of the button is changed and an event will be triggered. Okay, corresponding to each event, there is a listener that is supposed to take proper actions based on the event generated. Okay, for each event, there will be a listener interface. I'll come to that when we see the program. There is a listener that is supposed to take proper actions based on the event generated. All these listeners are specified by a set of interfaces which are defined in the java.awt.event package. There is a package called java.awt.event which contains a lot of listeners: action listener, mouse listener, key listener. These are all interfaces. You know, I hope you know the difference between a class and an interface. Okay, interface will contain only function declarations. There will not be any definitions. Okay, so to implement an interface, we use a keyword implements. We are implementing an interface. We are supposed to override all the methods which are declared inside that interface. Okay, so listeners are specified by a set of interfaces. So once again, see, there will be a component that creates an event. See, button is a source object. Okay, when we click that button, the internal state of the source object is changed. Suddenly an event is triggered. Okay, an event is generated. To handle that event, there is a listener that is supposed to take proper actions based on the event generated. Okay, so listener interface will contain a lot of methods that we have to override. As I mentioned earlier, we are using a listener. I have to implement all the methods. I have to override all the methods that are defined inside that. These methods are responsible for processing the event. Okay, so I hope you understood there is a component. Whenever the internal state of that component is changed, an event is triggered, and there are corresponding listeners who are supposed to take proper actions based on the events generated. The listeners perform these things with the help of some methods which are known as event handlers. There are some methods called as handlers. The entire thing together, we call it as delegation event model. Okay, the event source just handles the ball to the registered event listener. Now it is the responsibility of the registered event listener to handle the event. Okay, a source generates an event and sends it to one or more listeners. In this scheme, the listener waits until it receives an event. Once received, the listener processes the event and then returns. Okay, so the generation part and the handling part are separated in the program. Okay, so source can generate an event, sends it to one or more listeners, and the listener simply waits until it receives. Once received, the listener processes the event and then returns. Okay, I think I will show you a program. See, this is a program. This program will have some additions, so be careful. See, one more package is important. Import java.applet.star, import java.awt.star, then import java.awt.event.star. I hope you know the difference between importing java.awt.star and importing java.awt.event.star. That is the package concept that is beyond the scope of this talk. However, I will explain. See, java.awt.star means all the packages, all the classes and interfaces inside AWT folder will be imported. The classes and interfaces inside inside the event folder of AWT folder will not be imported. Okay, that's about package hierarchy. So inside package is nothing but a folder. AWT is a folder. Inside the AWT folder, there is a folder called event. Okay, inside the event folder, a lot of interfaces and classes are written. So in order to use the interfaces and classes, or we call them together as APIs, application programming interfaces. In order to use the interfaces and classes which are defined inside the event folder, I need to explicitly mention import java.awt.event.star. Don't think that we have imported java.awt.star, so there is no need of importing awt.event.star. Okay. Why I have implemented this is, as I mentioned in the slide, all the listener interfaces are defined inside awt.event. All the listener or the listeners which are responsible for handling the events. Okay, all those interfaces are defined inside awt.event. So public class, simple event is the name of the program, extends applet. Okay, that program, our class inherits a class called applet. At the same time, it implements an interface called action listener. It implements an interface called action listener. Okay, so class simple event extends applet implements action listener. So action listener is a interface which is responsible for handling the events associated with clicking of a component. Okay, so inside that, text field t is equal to new text field. Okay, then text field t is equal to new text field of 20. Then button b is equal to new button. Okay. Then inside these are all same things we have executed in the previous program. See, public void inside init, add t, add b. Remember one more thing. See, the last time our button was not clickable. Our button was not monitored to receive events. It was a lifeless button. It was not monitored to receive events. So unless we add action listener to a button, the events to that button will not be monitored. So we have to use a function called add action listener. B dot add action listener. So this button is monitored for events. B dot add action listener within brackets. Where you have to use the keyword this. Why this is? See, the parameter of add action listener is an object of the simple event class. Okay, the parameter of add action listener has to be the object of a class which implements action listener. I hope you understand. There is no confusion. See, the parameter of add action listener should be the object of a class which implements action listener. Okay, so this is a keyword which which is used to refer to the object of the same class. Okay, this is all. This also you have learned in the second or third module, I think. So b dot add action listener of this. So this indicates that the parameter is object of the same class which implements action listener. Okay, so by adding this command b dot add action listener, our button b is now monitored. Okay, now we should know about the methods which are inside action listener. What are the methods which are available inside action listener? So this action listener class, this action listener interface contains, fortunately it contains only one method. The name of the method is action performed, void action performed. Okay, so any number of methods, since we are implementing an interface, all the methods which are defined inside that interface should be compulsorily overdone. But luckily in this case, this action listener will have only one method defined inside that interface, declared inside that interface. So I'm overriding that public void action performed, action event E. Okay, these are all predefined. We have nothing to do with these things. Okay, action event is another built-in class which is defined inside the awt.event package. So I have to create an object of that. So void action performed of action event E. That is, inside that I have to write what should happen when I click that event button. Okay, so set text hi. Okay, it is too small a text. We'll type a bigger text. Okay, welcome. T dot set text welcome. Okay, what is T? T is the name of the text field. Okay, so T dot set text, again the set text is a built-in method inside the text field class. T dot set text of welcome. Now let's see how this program runs. Java C. You have to see the name of the program again. Simple event. See, there is a text box and a button. So when I click this text box, the welcome message has come. Fine. I can remove it again. Click OK. It will be okay. Second button is clear. So b1 dot add action listener, b2 dot add action listener. So last time there was only one button, so there is no confusion. Only one button will be clicked. There was only one component which was clickable. So when I click to that button event, by default action performed, whatever is written inside action performed will be executed. Now we have two buttons. One is button b1 and another is button b2. So inside this action performed, I have to identify which button is clicked. I have to identify which button is clicked. So I have to write a code like, see, I have to make use of this particular object E of action event. So I have to write like, if E dot get source is equal to b1. There are different ways of doing this. Is only one method. If E dot get source equal to b1 means I have clicked in the B1 button. I have clicked in the button B1. Then what should happen? G dot set text welcome. Else, any other button. G dot set text. I'll put an empty thing. Okay, I have put an empty thing. If G dot set source is equal to B1, then C T dot set text is equal to else means otherwise. Okay. See, every time you make a change, you have to compile the Java program once again. Okay. Old output is coming. Wait. There is some mistake. What is the mistake is, see, I forgot to add B2. I have written B2.add action listener, but such a button does not exist. The compiler was unable to detect the error. Compiler will not detect errors like that. So we have to add B2 also. Okay. Add B1, add B2. Now we'll compile it also. Now there are two buttons, OK and clear. Let's click the OK button. Welcome is appearing. Clear the clear button. It's cleared. OK. See, now we have created a GUI using applet. This is a graphical user interface. So this component is a text box. These two are buttons. So in addition to these components, there are components like what? Text area, radio button, combo box, password buttons. Okay, how password buttons are different from text field? When we enter values, only echo characters will be displayed. Okay, for every components, there are associated built-in classes for generating those components. Okay. Now we have seen action performed. Similarly, there are mouse clicking events. For that, instead of action listener, there is another interface called mouse listener. So these are some of the methods. Mouse click. Okay, it is called just after the user clicks the listen to component. Mouse entered, mouse exited, mouse pressed, mouse released. Okay, these are all for a reference. You can see the slides. So just to make you know that there are different interface. See, Java, the strength of Java in general lies in its APIs. There are thousands of built-in classes and interfaces. We cannot by heart all those methods, interfaces and all, but you should understand that there are something which are defined inside this package. Okay. Then key listener, key typed, key pressed, key released. Then action listener, already have seen there is only one method, that is action performed of action event. Some more components are there. Checkbox. The checkbox, to create checkbox, you have to write checkbox C is equal to new checkbox. Okay. Then there are some methods. Already have seen a method called G dot set text. Okay. Similarly, there are this is for checkbox. Okay, have get label, etc. Radio buttons are also there. List. Okay. The methods of list. Okay, I'll show you one more program before I wind up. How to a program which performs some simple calculation. For example, let there be two buttons B1 and B2, and I'll create one more text field also. B1 text field G2 is equal to new text field. So there are two text fields, G1 and G2. We will make a button like sum. There is only one button present, one button I'm going to remove. One button is there. So only add B2 is not needed. Only one is needed. Okay. So one more text field I will add. So three text fields are there, T1, T3 and T1, T2 and T3. Only one button is there. Button B1 is equal to new button. So B1 dot add action listener. I have to add all the three text fields. T1, T2 and T3. This is T2, this is T3. Okay, add B1. So there is only one button here, so there is no need of get source of B1 and all. Okay. Now, the objective is they have two text box. I will enter two numbers and I need to print the sum in the third one. Okay. So, I will first perform concatenation. T3 dot set text. T3 dot set text. T1 dot get text plus T2 dot get text. Okay. Let's see what is output. First I will get hello. Second I will print ASAP. The sum is hello ASAP. The two strings have been concatenated. Okay. Now see the program once more. T3.setText is first I am getting the text from T1 plus in Java plus is used for concatenation plus T2.setText. If I want to perform addition, what will we do? I am giving you as an assignment. What I have to do? I have to convert T1.getText into an integer. For that you use the method integer.parseInt. If it gets too complicated, you can you simply declare another variable. Okay, T1.integer.parseInt of T1.getText plus integer.parseInt of T2.getText. That will do that. Okay. So I'm going to wind up. But before we leave, we have to understand one thing. Java was this applet was once a killer technology, but Java applets were deprecated since Java 9. 2019 Java, the Oracle has released Java 9. Since then it is deprecated. Deprecated means it is not advisable to use. The word meaning of deprecated is you are advised against using Java applet because they are going to stop it. And from the Java version of 11, Java SE 11, standard edition 11 released in September 2018, you do not have support for applet. The reason is, as I mentioned in the beginning, applets are programs which are transported over internet. Okay, we are embedding those into browsers. So the browser makers are getting rid of this plugin support because plugins have to connect deeply into the browser architecture. So this makes it very difficult to keep the security things up to date. So nowadays there is now the browsers do not support.
Hello, sir. May I interrupt?
Yeah.
So we have some questions, but we are having very few time left. So shall I ask the questions?
Yeah, this is finished. Just 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So released in September. So there is no support for Java. And also one more thing is, so now applet is no longer available. So the suggested upgrade path is to make use of WebStart. There is a software called WebStart, and this allows you to run a Java application download from web in a sandbox. Okay. Thank you. Now I can answer your queries. Parvati, please.
So the question from Shyam Krishna is, what are controls of applet? What
Okay,
are
controls?
Yes, controls of applet.
Okay. These text box are all controls. Text box is a control. Okay, text box is a control, button is a control. These are all controls. That components we can control. That those are all things are called controls.
Okay, sir. The next question is any real-time example for applets?
The applets, you do not have a, I already told now there is no support for applet. For example, you want to hear a song. You do not have the song available in your computer. And you want to, you do not have a media player also. You do not, remember, you do not have a media player. You do not have a song. But you want to hear a particular song of a favorite choice. You can browse the internet and you can still hear the song without having the song in your computer and without having a media player. How is it possible? Because some media players are embedded in your browser. You can play a song with applet.
Okay, sir. We are having lots of questions. I think more than 20 questions are there, but we have exceeded the time limit.
Okay.
So we'll be sharing the questions to you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So we are winding up the session.
Yeah.
Srijit sir has given a wonderful session here. He took a great effort in preparing the session and making it so easy to understand. Thank you so much for your time and patience for taking this session, sir. Also,
Thank
thanking
you.
all the participants. The video, transcript, and all other PPT will be available in our made available in our website. Please do